This conference will now be recorded.
WhatsApp ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ತಾಳಿ.
Okay, good morning, everyone. So we'll start the session. Okay, so just a small recap. So yesterday we started with the GST. We saw when was it introduced, or the history of GST, and what exactly happens, and what are the different types of tax. Okay, and the GST, how it is split up, and also we started with the Tally Prime, the creation of company, and also we also mass transaction. That is basically we introduced capital into our business. Okay, so these were the things that we did in the last class, in the last session. Now, sorry. So now in this today's session, now what we are going to do is we will start working. Now, if we have to start working on our stocks, okay, that is if you have to do the purchase, if you have to do the sales, or any kind of things related to your stock, or you want to purchase some goods or things, okay, for that we have to create certain things. Okay, if you have already worked in Tally ERP9, in Tally ERP9, from the gateway of Tally, you will be going to inventory info. All right, same way here. Here, what we do is from gateway of Tally, we go to this heading called as create. When I go to create, there I'll have the inventory masters, the second one. Okay, so these are the inventory masters that we have to start working on. Okay, now yesterday why we did the first transaction, that is basically the receipt voucher. Why did we use the receipt voucher? Okay, so receipt voucher is basically we used whenever there's capital introduced, or let's say whenever there's income into the business, whenever there's money flowing into the business, that time we'll use the inventory voucher. I'm sorry, the receipt voucher. So that is why yesterday we brought in the capital and we started, we introduced it, so that for whatever the purchase transaction we are going to do, or any kind of transaction, GST transaction we are going to do, we have to have certain amount with us. So that's the reason why brought in the capital. Now, before we go on with the transaction, as I said, we'll be going on with the inventory masters, what we have over here, what you can see here. Okay, so how we came here was from the gateway of Tally. I go to this option called as create, and I have the inventory masters. Okay, so these are the things that we have to go through now. Now, what we do is, what I'll do here is from down I will be going. That is from here. Okay, these are the five inventory masters that we'll be going through. Okay, so in that I'm starting with the first one called as unit. Okay, now does anyone know what is this unit of measure? What do you mean by the unit of measure? Hmm? Unit of measure. Unit of measure means what? What is it? What does it mean?
Sir, we measure different quantity in different units like water in liters and items in kgs.
Yes, fantastic. All right. So basically, it is used to measure the what do you say, the quantity of a stock or quantity of a particular product. Okay, just like your friend said. Okay, say for waters, we say it in liters or milliliters, or you have some, let's say, rice. You have some rice. The rice we can measure in terms of kgs, kilograms, or quintals, or bags of rice. Like this, we can measure. So basically, it is used to what do you say, the explain the say the quantity of a particular product. Explain what exactly the particular product and how it is measured in terms of. That's what is the unit of measure. Okay, so this unit of measure is basically in what do you say, can be measured in different ways. So basically in Tally we have two types of units of measure. Okay, basically we call it as a simple unit of measure and compound unit of measure. There are two ways in which you can measure the units of measure. Okay, so yes, here I have it. Um, so yeah, so units are the symbols which are used to measure the quantity of each and every stock item. Stock item basically means to say each and every product what you purchase, so what you have. Okay, so now as I was saying, we have two types of units of measure: simple and compound unit of measure. Simple means to say is that simple is used to measure a single quantity. As you can see, a simple unit of measure, it is related to a single unit of measure, the quantity of a particular product. For a single product, we use a simple unit of measure. Whereas
Hello,
if you see the
sir.
compound, yes, yeah,
Sorry to disturb you. Still, some of the students are waiting. They inform me, sir.
okay. Waiting
Okay,
means to
sir.
say
Thank
like,
you.
no, I didn't get you. What was it that you said?
I mean, the host did not accept the meeting, sir. It's showing like that. It seems the
Okay.
meeting what you have started now, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Still,
I,
some of
I,
the
I
students are waiting in it.
waiting. Okay. I've left. I've not put anyone in waiting room. Anything. Everyone's this thing, right? I don't know. All you guys, like that only you entered, right? There's no one in waiting
Yeah,
room,
yes,
nothing
sir.
like that.
They
Okay,
just
tell
called me
them,
and said, "Okay, sir. I'll sir."
just tell them to log out and again try logging in. It might happen.
Okay.
Just see that.
Yeah, sure, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So, okay, fine. We'll just wait for 2 minutes and see what is the issue here. It's just 2 minutes and we'll continue the session. Okay, fine. You just proceed. Okay, fine. Okay. Now, yeah, as I was saying, there are two types of unit of measure that we work in Tally: simple and compound unit of measure. So, simple unit of measure is basically we have single unit or a single quantity like kgs, grams, liters, numbers, boxes, bags, like that we have. Okay. Whereas if you see the compound unit of measure is where you combine two simple units. Let's say, for example, kgs and bags are combined together forming one particular unit. Okay, so basically compound unit is combining two simple units to form one particular compound unit of measure. That's what is this compound unit of measure. Okay, basically simple unit of measure, in simple words we can say that we can use it for the retail kind of businesses, and whereas compound it is for the wholesale kind of business. Okay, now as you see the exam, as we do the exam, work on this example, then you will understand how exactly this simple and compound unit of measure works. Sorry. Okay. Now, first thing what we will do is we'll create the simple unit of measure. So here I have the example for the simple unit of measure. These are the few simple units that we have to create, that we'll create. Okay. So now, how do we create? So I'll go to Tally. Okay. So from Gateway of Tally, what I do is I go to this option called as Create. Okay, and I go to unit, and there I have. Okay, this is how you come to this particular screen. So from Gateway of Tally, you go to Create. From Create, you go to this option called as Unit, and you come to this heading called as Unit Creation. So the first thing what we are going to do now is we are going to create the simple unit of measure. Okay, this particular simple unit of measure has to be created first. So type will be simple, symbol. Symbol are the ones, that is the example what I just showed you. Now this one by one, this example I have to create. That is kgs, kilograms, grm, grams, box, bx, bg, bags, numbers, nos, packets, liters, sets. All these things I have to create here. Okay, so now one by one we will create. So it's easy. It is easy to create. It's simple. Okay, so symbol. Next to this heading called a symbol, what I do is kgs. That is kilograms. Formal name for it. That is a full form basically. Kilograms. Okay. The next thing what you have here is called as unit quantity code. Most of the time, this particular thing is not necessary. It is nothing but it simple means to say is that what we have written here, the same thing will be automatically present over here. Since we have written kgs, that is kilograms, I get the same thing over here, kgs, kilograms itself. There's nothing else. Okay, by default it will be given there. Okay, it is not necessary that you have to select it. If it is not present, you can just select it as not applicable, which is on the first option there. Okay, if you don't have any related or relevant words there, you can just select as not applicable. Since we have here as kgs, kilograms, I select here as kilograms and proceed. Next, number of decimal places. Okay, this is an option. You can keep it as an option. You can put how many decimal places you want to. But what I am doing right here now is I'm not putting any decimal places. I'm just putting it as zero itself. Okay, I'm not doing anything. So I'm just directly saving. That's it. This is the thing. This is all the thing that I do it in simple unit of measure. First thing I do is I check whether it's in simple. Second, I put the symbol, that is the short form of it, kgs. Next, I put the formal name of it, that is kilograms. Next, the unit quantity code. This is not very much required. So I just put the same thing what is entered here. The same thing will be present there. So I just selected kilograms, kgs. Number of decimal places is an optional. You can put it how many ever decimal places you want to as per your company's requirement. So right here, what I am doing is I'm just putting it at zero itself, and I'm saving. That's all. This is all the things that you have to do for all the units of measure. So kgs is done. Next, grm, grams, the formal for it is. Next, the unit quantity code. Here, in this case, it will not be as grams, it will be something as Grammys. Okay, GMS. You can see that it says as GMS, Grammys. So I selected. Okay, next LTS, liters. Okay, in this case, I don't have liters here, I have something called as milliliters. Okay, if you can see here, I don't have this nothing related to liters. So basically it is nothing but milliliters. So I'll select as milliliters there. I save. Okay, and next sets. Okay, next we have is PKT packets, PAK packs we can put it as. Next we have as NOS numbers. Okay, next we have is BX box. Okay, BOX box itself I put. Next I put as BG bags. Okay, so like this I go on creating the simple units of measure. Okay. Any doubts in this? Any doubt in this creation of simple units of measure? Okay, just you have to select the type as simple. The symbol will be the short form of that particular name. Next will be the formal name, that is the full form of that particular name, and the unit quantity code. Most of the time it's not necessary. Okay, so these are the things that we create in simple unit of measure. Now coming to the next, compound unit of measure. Compound unit of measure, as I said before, it is a combination of both simple unit of measures. Two simple unit of measures you combine to form one particular compound unit. Okay. Now, if you see the first one, it says BG. BG is nothing but bags. Bag of 50 kgs. That's what it means. That means one bag contains 50 kgs. Bag of 50 kgs. Now, if you see the second one, packet. Packet of 50 grams. Box of 12 numbers. Set of 12 bags. So like this, we can combine. See these both here, this symbol and this symbol are basically the simple unit of measures which we just created. So I'm combining two simple units to form one whole compound unit of measure. Okay, that's what is the compound unit of measure. That definition is there. It used to equate two simple units to combine to form one wholesale business. Okay, now how we create this? Let's do the first one. Bag of 50 kgs. Okay, out. Yeah. Okay. Now type. Now the first thing what you have is type. It's a simple. So if you I have to change this to compound. So what I do is I press the backspace key. I get the option as compound. This is how you have to get this. Okay, again I repeat. First you'll be in the simple screen, that is the type as simple. You have to change it to compound. So just press the backspace, select as compound and press enter. That's how you change from compound simple to compound or compound to simple. Okay, so now what I have to do is bag of 50 kgs I have to type. So I've already created here as PG, that's a simple unit. So bag of 50 kgs, kilograms. And this bag of 50 kgs. Now next, what I'll do is packet of 50 grams. Packet PKT of 50 grams. That's it. Okay. Next, box of 12 numbers. Next, set of 12 packets. Set of 12 and yeah, packets PKT. Okay. Next, liters of 15 kgs, something like this. Okay, so basically what we are doing is we are combining two simple units to forming one compound. Okay. Now, if you have still not understood this particular concept, how this simple unit or compound unit works is, let's take one more example. Okay, let's take it as HRS, that is hours. Next, MIN, minutes. Next, SEC, seconds. Okay. Now what I've done is I've created hours, minutes, and seconds in the simple unit of measure. Now I'll go to the compound. Now, can anyone tell me, let's say hours of what and what is the unit? Can anyone tell me how can we create the compound unit for this? Hours of how much? How much? Anyone?
60 minutes.
Fantastic.
60 minutes.
Hours of 60 minutes. All right. Hours of 60 minutes. Next, minutes of 60 seconds.
Seconds.
Yes. Okay. So this is how I can explain what exactly is a component of measure. It is very much easier to understand. Okay. So you're combining two simple units forming one particular compound unit. All right. So these units of measures have to be created in order to identify the quantity of each and every stocks that you're purchasing. Okay, we just can't, let's say for example, we just can't go to the shop and ask, give me rice or give me wheat or flour, something like that. We have to ask him, give me 1 kg of rice, give me 2 kgs of flours, give me one packet of sugar. Okay, so basically we have to mention the quantity so that we get the particular stock to us. Okay, so whenever we are dealing with even the GST transactions, any kind of transactions, at that particular time this units of measure is very much necessary for us to specify or mention how much of quantity that we are purchasing. Right? So that's the reason why we create this unit of measure. Okay? So this is how we create it. Okay. Now if you have to check for all the units, both the simple and the compound units that you have created, what you do is from gateway of tally, you go to chart of accounts. From chart of accounts, you go to units. And there you have. So as I said before, chart of accounts is basically your display screen. It will display whatever you have created. That's what that's what the chart of account does. Okay, so if you see here, the ones which are highlighted, that is darker, are the simple unit of measure. The ones which are lighter, that is below the darker ones, are the compound unit of measure. Okay, so this is how we create and check the simple and compound unit of measures. Does anyone have any doubts in this?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. We go to the next one. Okay, now, can anyone tell me what do you mean by the word called as go down? What is a go down? What do you mean by the word or term called as go down?
It's a place where the stocks are stored.
Goods ready to sell.
Correct? That's right. Place where all your stocks are stored, or basically where all the goods are stored for quite a period of time. Okay, so if you are running a business also, in the business, in the company as well, if you're running in the company itself, you can't store all the stocks which is required or all the goods that is required for a particular company. Okay, so a particular place or a particular location, okay, is very much required to store the stocks or to store the goods over there. Okay, so that is the reason why we have these go downs. Okay, so in Tally ERP 9, we call it as go downs. Okay, in Tally Prime, that is the current application that we are working on. Okay, the version that we call it as go downs or location. Okay, we also call this as a location as well. Okay, so if you can see the definition here, so it's a place where, okay, as you said, place where your stocks are kept. Okay, and by default, there is one location called as your main location. Right. So I wanted to ask you now, like yesterday when we created the ledgers, okay, we selected groups for those ledgers. For example, the capital account we created, HDFC bank account, ICICI bank account. Now for that we selected the group. Okay, so how many default groups are present in Tally? Can anyone tell me how many default groups?
One.
Sorry, how much? How much? 20?
28.
That's right. 28 groups you have. Okay, and that 28 groups, the first 15 are primary, and the next 13 are the subgroups. Okay, fine, good. And what about the ledgers? How many default ledgers are created in Tally?
2.
What are they?
Two, sir.
What
Cash
are
account
they?
and
Cash account.
cash account, profit and loss account.
Fantastic. Cash and profit and loss account. Same way here as well in go downs or in this location we have. Okay, we have the default name called as main location. Okay, main location is a default name or the default go down which is already created in Tally. Okay, now to go and check this particular go down or this particular location, what I do is from the gateway of Tally screen, I go to this either I go to alter or I go to chart of accounts. Let's say I go to chart of accounts itself. I go to go downs and there I'll have the main location. Okay, so from gateway of Tally, okay, I go to chart of accounts. From chart of accounts, I go to go down or location, and there you will have the main location. Okay, so this is how you have it. So this default name or the name which is already been created in Tally, it cannot be deleted, but you can change the name. Okay, as you should. Even in Tally Prime also it's the same thing. You cannot delete it, but you have the option to alter the name of it. Okay, so what I do is, let's say if I have to alter the name of that particular name, the go down. So I go to this option from gateway of Tally, I go to alter. Next, I go to go down and select main location and I change it. Let's say I give the name as Jnagar. Jnagar location. That's the name I'm giving for this go down. Alias is not required. If you want, you can give it in short, no problem, but I'm just skipping it. Under will be as primary itself. Okay, there's no other change that. Just give the name. I may say this. Just change the name and just put it as primary and just save it. Escape, escape. Okay. So this is how I alter the name of the go down. Suppose I want to create multiple go downs. Okay. So I go to gateway of Tally, create. Next, I go to go down. When I click on this option, it will ask me like this. You can see there, as you can see in the box, it says Jnagar location exists by default for the company. Actually, the name was main location, so we changed to main Jnagar location. Now this Jnagar location has become the default name. Okay, that's what is the notification that is showing here. Below that, do you want to alter Jnagar location or create a new group? That is, you want to change name of this Jnagar location, you can select this option called as alter existing. If you want to create new go down names, that time you say create new. Now this time what I'll do is I'll just give some small and simple names, or you can give any names according to your preferences, like the Jnagar go down, JP Nagar go down, Banchankri go down, MG Road go down. Like this you can give it as place wise, or also you can give it in short like unit 1, something like this. Let's say unit 2, unit 3, unit 4, like this you can go on creating. So unit 1 alias is nothing, under will be as primary itself. So what we do here is when we create the go downs, you just give the name for the go down and see that it is a primary and you save it. That's it. That's all you create. That's how you create the go downs here. Okay. So I save it. Next unit 2, next unit 3, unit 4, unit 5. So like this I can go on creating how many of go downs you have according to your business. According to that, the go downs can be created. Okay. So I save it. Now what I do is same as usual, from gateway of tally, I go to chart of accounts, go downs, and there I'll have all the go downs which I've created. J number location, unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, unit 4, unit 5. Like this, I can go on creating multiple go downs. There are any doubts you can ask. Okay, fine. So I guess you guys have no doubts. Okay, fine. So once I have done creating the units of measure and the go downs, the next step for us to create is our stocks. Okay, so basically, if you see here, that is from gateway of tally. I come to this heading called as create, and I come here to the inventory masters, this particular heading inventory masters. Now, so the go down is done and unit is done. Now, what I do is I come to these three headings here, what we have: stock group, stock category, stock item. These three headings are actually present here. It's not exactly in a particular order. Okay, always when we are creating the stock, we always start with stock category. Then we come to the stock group. Then we go to the stock items. This is how we create the stocks. Okay, stock category, stock group, and stock item. Now, if I have to explain what exactly are these three things. Stock category. Stock categories are basically considered as the main headings of a particular stock. Stock group are considered as the subheadings of each and every category. And stock items are the final levels of each and every stock. For example, if I say stock category as home appliances, okay, so the home appliances is considered as stock category. For stock group, the same home appliances. Under home appliances, we have many things: TV, fridge, washing machine, AC, a lot of things we have. So for home appliances, let's say the stock group is TV, television. Okay. Now the stock item for that is, let's say, Micromax TV. That's how it is. So stock category is home appliances, stock group is TV, stock item is LG Color TV or Micromax TV. That's how it is. Basically with the brand name that it has. Let's take one more example. Let's say if I say computers, the main heading as computers will be under the heading called as stock category. The subheading for it can be as desktops or laptops. Desktops or laptops can be put under stock group. And finally, we have stock item, where, let's say, for example, Acer laptops or Dell computers, like that we can consider. So this is how it works: the stock category, stock group, and stock item. Okay, so let's see again the same examples for these three things: stock category, stock group, and stock item. So as you see here, stock categories, it is used to easily identify and allocate all the stock items in the item statement. It is considered to be the title name assigned for the business. That is basically the main heading of the particular business. Okay, that's what is the stock category. Next, we have stock group. Stock groups are the subgroups or the subheadings of each and every stock. Okay, wherein stock item, that is the final stock item, can be grouped together under one particular stock group, and it is used to easily identify and allocate each and every stock item. So it is easy for us to what you can say, extract a particular stock. And finally, you have what is called as stock item, the third level. The final level of each and every stock, it contains all the brand names and the GST taxes are entered basically in this. Okay, so as I was saying, let's say if I say home appliance, that is stock category, stock group will be as fridge, stock item will be as Samsung fridge. Okay, so basically the stock item Samsung fridge is basically the brand name which contains with this particular heading over here. I have few examples to know. Okay, yeah, the green ones here, the green ones which I have highlighted are all the stock categories. Home appliances, stationery, jewelry, computers, mobiles are all the stock categories, are the main headings. The blue ones are the stock groups and the yellow ones are the stock items, the one which I have highlighted here, so that it will be easy for us to identify. Okay, so yeah, let's take the first example here. So the first stock group here, what I have, stock category, what I have is home appliance. Under home appliances, I have many things. As I said before, TV, fridge, washing machines, let's say ACs, all those things comes under home appliance. Next, under that, let's say TV, I have LG TV, or let's say Micromax TV, Sony TV, LG LED TV, something like that. Fridge, Samsung fridge, washing machine, Whirlpool washing machine. So these yellow ones are the stock item, which basically contains the brand names. These blue ones are the stock group, are the subheadings of these stock categories. This is one example. Let's take the second one. Stationery. Stationery. Stationery considered as stock category. Under stationery, we have a lot of things. Books, pens, files. Also, we have pencils. All those things comes under stationery. So if I take the stock item for each of this, let's say if I take books, you can say classmate notebook, Camlin notebook, okay, or else we have this Vidya notebooks, a lot of books we have. All those things comes under the heading books. Let's say pens, Reynolds pen, Parker pen. If I say files, Nandi office files, like this we can create under stationery. See, let's say jewelry. Jewelry is the stock category, stock group. For that we can put it as gold and silver. Okay, if I say gold, for gold, a stock item, Ratna gold chain, okay, or Malabar gold chain, Malabar ring, something like that. Okay, and silver, RR silver, something. So basically the brand name is entered over there. Next, computers. As I said before, computers, we can categorize them and group them under laptops and desktops. And laptops, let's say ASL laptops or Sony laptops, something like that, and Dell computers, Micromax computers, something. Next, you have mobiles, Android, iOS, Vivo, V9, Appliance. So this is basically, as you can see the examples itself, you can easily understand what exactly is a stock category, what is a stock group, and what exactly is a stock item. So stock category is the main heading, stock group is a subheading which comes under each and every stock categories, and the stock items are for each and every stock group what I have entered here. For that we have each and every stock item with their brand names. Okay, so that's what is the stock category, stock group, and stock item. Any doubts on this?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. Now what we will do is, okay, we will see how we can create all these things, all these stock categories, stock groups, and stock items. But before we do that, now the first thing what we have to do now is we have to create, or we have to find out all the tax rates for each and every product. What is a particular tax rate of it? That is what we have to find out. Okay, so these tax rates are basically characterized, or as we had discussed in the last class, in the yesterday's session, we have different types of tax slabs. Okay, that is basically the GST tax slabs what we have. Okay, that is 0%, 5%, 3%, some 2%. I'm sorry, 12%, 18%, all those things. Okay, there are different types of tax slabs under which different types of products appear or different type of stocks appear. Okay, so as you can see here, okay, exempted GST tax. Exempted means to say is that, okay, the goods that are, I'm saying the stocks that are not taxed. Okay, so basically 7% of goods and services are not basically taxed. Does not, that means to say that does not have what do you say, tax rate for it. Okay, so basically they are the regular consumption goods like your fresh fruits, vegetables, milk, curd, natural honey, basin. Okay, these are all basically the ones which does not have any tax. So basically the 0% tax rate. So that is how we can explain is that the products, okay, or the products which has no brand name in it, okay, which does not have brand name, those particular products are not taxed. For example, like here we have flour. Okay, it says flour. Flour is nothing but Annapurna atta, Chakki fresh atta, those kind of things. Okay, so if we see Annapurna atta or Chakki fresh or Ashirwad atta, those things and all is taxed. Okay, when you go to the shop, when you buy those branded items, those things will be taxed. Okay, but here it says flour is not taxed, exempted GST tax slab. Means to say that these floor has no brand name on it, the one which does not have brand name. See, most of us, okay, most of you know, I guess, when you do the shopping, okay, we have this small petty shops, or we call them as in Kannada we have this names called as childrangi or kakangi, something like that we call, right? So there we go and buy, right? For 10 rupees you give me maida atta, for 20 rupees you give me this godhi atta, something like that we ask. So what he does is, according to that, he puts it in a cover and he gives it, and he takes the same amount what we ask for, 20 rupees or 10 rupees, but he's not charging tax for it. Okay, so basically what you understand that is, he does not, that particular product what he's giving, he does not have a brand name, but he's giving that. It's basically, we call it in we say it as loose products, no, which has no products brand names. So the ones which has no brand name is not taxed. Basically, it is 0% tax. Okay, that's what it says. That's what is meant by this. Okay. Now, next we have the next tax slab, which is the 5% tax slab. 14% of the goods and all the services fall under 5% of tax. That is basically these what is it, the milk powders, skim milk powders, or these basically the pet food items, the paneer, okay, the brand paneer, the tea, coffee, vegetables, okay, rice and fish. Okay, these, as you can see here, these are the products and the services which falls under 5% tax rate. Okay, next you have this 12%, the next tax slab. 0% is done, 5% is done. Now we have the 12% tax slab. Okay, these edible oil, meat, ghee, dry fruits, okay, all these things, goods and services fall under the 12%. Next we have is the 28%. Okay, just a minute. Okay, yeah, next we have is this 18%. So 43% of all the goods and also services falls under this. Okay, so you can see pastas, biscuit, pastries, okay, ice creams, I mean the cameras, okay, all these things fall under the 18%. And finally, you have the 28%. Okay, so these are all the different types of tax slabs that we have, and all the goods and services, okay, fall under each of these particular tax slabs over here. Okay, now let's come out of this and we will come to this products what we are dealing with. Okay, so what we'll do now is, for whatever the stock items that we have here, only for those particular stock items we will find out the tax rate and we will work on only for that. Okay, we'll just take few this, let's say for example we will take LG TV, Okay, LG TV as the one of the thing. Okay, next we'll take classmate notebook, and we'll take one Acer laptop. Okay, what I'm doing is we will work on with these three products. Okay, buying, selling, and things. So based upon this, we will find out all the tax rate and things more. Now, if I want to find out, okay, let's say for example, I just as I showed you all those tax slabs. Okay, let's say I'm not sure of what is the tax rate for LGTV or classmate book or the laptop or the computer that I have. Okay, I want to find out each and every tax rate for this. So what we do is basically we have one option or one number called as HSN number. HSN number we call it as. HSN means to say harmonized synchronous nomenclature number. Okay, that's what it basically is. Okay, so what this number is like, how it works is like it works like your register numbers or your roll numbers, just like how each and every college student has their roll numbers or register numbers. The same way it works like. Now, the first thing I want to find out the HSN number for TV. Okay, so what is the HSN number for TV that I have to find out? So what I do is we just open the Google and we can search for it and we can find out. It is very easy to find out. Okay, so what I do is I come to this Google thing. Okay, now, so in this Google search, what I'm doing is I'm searching for, if you can see here in the search box, what I'm typing is HSN for TV, for television. What is the HSN number I want to find out? So I'm coming here and I'm selecting. Let's say enter. So now you can see this number 8528. That is a number for this particular TV what we have. Okay. So what I did was I came to Google. I easily searched, that is I put the HSN for TV and I got the HSN number, that is 8528. Now what I do is on the next screen, again I will type in the Google search as just HSN, the name as just HSN. Okay, and I'll click on the first option, the clear tax, pre-HSN code list and GST rate find. So what exactly I'm doing here is using that HSN number for that particular product TV, I'm able to find out what is going to be the tax rate for that particular product. So I click on this HSN finder. Okay, now here in this search box, HSN code list and GST rate finder, I enter the HSN number 8528. 8528 and I search. After I search, at the bottom, below that, I get the results for that. See, 8528. All these are all for 8528 itself. These are the next to that, what we have is all the sub numbers. See, everywhere we have 8528. Next to that is the sub numbers. There's nothing to worry about it because it basically depends upon the size, depending upon the color TV or black and white TV, the size of the TV, LED TV, LCD TV, something like that. So based upon that, these sub numbers are added. Nothing to worry, we are just working on a normal TV. So what you do here is, here I have description that it says what exactly is the product. And here I have the HSN number 8528, what I searched for. And here I have the rate. So until 1st July 2000, from 1st July 2017, it was 28% tax rate, GST rate. From 27 July 2018, right, till today, we have it as 18% tax rate. So the GST rate for TV is 18%. That is what it is. So 18% is the tax rate. So this I have to enter it there. So what I'll do is I'll come back here. So HSN for TV is 8528 and the tax rate is 18%. Understanding everyone what exactly I'm doing? Okay. So for TV, what I'm doing is I'm finding what is going to be the HSN number. HSN number is basically kind of a roll number or the register number for the product. I search for this. Let's say by Google itself, I go and search. Next, what I do is using that same HSN number. Okay, so using the same HSN number, I will find out what is going to be the tax rate of it. So in this search box, I type 8528 and I search, and I get the tax rate and the product description. This 18%, I enter it over here. I'll make a note of it over here on this particular screen. So like this, individually for each and every item, for Samsung fridge, Whirlpool washing machine, for everything, we have to find out like this. Okay, now let's take books. Now for classmate notebook, I want to find out the HSN number. So what I do is I don't write it as classmate notebook. I'll find it as just books. As books itself, I will find out what is going to be the HSN number. So HSN for books. Here I have. You see here 4901 for printed books, including the books, brochures, newspaper, journals. Want list, all those lists you will have here. Okay. So what kind of book you want, you can see here. Depending upon that, we can select the HSN number and we find out. Okay. So yeah. Let's take this as 4901. So I find out here 4901, search, okay, and the tax rate is 5%. 5% is the tax rate for all the stationery. That's basically the books. Oh, 901, 5%. Okay. So for LGT we found out a classmate. Next, let's say we found out for Acer laptop for the last one. It is in for Acer laptop. So let's come to that screen. Okay, it is in for laptops. So its code is 8471. 8471, and it is 18%. Okay, so that is how we find out the HSN and the tax rate. Any doubts in this? That's any doubts? Do you have any doubts? What exactly is happening? Do you have any doubts in this? Okay, I guess no one has any doubts. Fine. So let's continue. Okay. So now, as I said, now first thing, now since we have found out the tax rate and the HSN number for these three of these products, okay, in the same procedure, we do it for all the stock items. All the stock items, we find out the HSN number and the tax rate for it, and we keep it ready. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm doing it only for the three items. Okay, as we do the practical sum, that we do try doing for everything. Okay, now what we do now is the first thing. I have to create the stock category. Now all these green ones which I have highlighted, those things I have to create first, the stock categories. So now to create the stock category, what I do is from the gateway of tally screen, I go to create, select stock category, and I have it. Okay. So while creating the stock category, you just have to enter the name and you save it. That is, let's say if I write home appliance, the alias is not required, no need to give any alias. You can skip that. Under will be as primary itself. Okay, there's no need to put any thing under here. It will be as primary itself. There's nothing to do here. So what you have to do is just give the name as home appliance, select under as primary, and you just have to save it. That's all. Okay, so home appliances, stationery. Okay, next computers. Okay, jewelry. Okay, better parts of computers. So like this, I can go on creating each and every headings or each and every stock categories. Okay, I've just given some sample names here. Okay, just some sample names I've just given. So home appliances, computers, and stationaries are the main thing, but the extra names I've just given for just for example. Okay, so like this, we can go on creating the stock categories. Just give the name, no need of giving the alias. Under will be as primary itself. There's nothing to do with this. Fine. Okay. That's how we create a stock categories. Now the stock group. Even the stock group is also the same procedure itself. Just enter the name and you just have to save it. There's nothing else to do in that. Okay. So same procedure. Create stock group. Okay. And I enter here. Okay. Fine. So when I come to the stock group creation, okay, the same thing, whatever we had created here, whatever we are the examples had here, the same examples we can take. Okay, so let's take for example, we'll do first for the home appliances. Okay, so home appliances, as we saw here, we have this TV, fridge, washing machines, right? Those things, stationery, books, pens, pencils, like that we can take it. Okay, now first let's say home appliance will do it. Okay, so name. So for home appliance we have TV, so I put as TV. Alias is nothing, it will be under primary itself, and the other two options will be as no. There's no need for you to enter here anything. Now if you see the second option here, it will be as no itself. Suppose if you want to see what exactly is this, let's say if you go to this option called set alter GST details and I make this as yes. Have you seen the screen? Because last class yesterday when we were activating the GST, we worked on the screen. Where did we find the screen? In which option? Yesterday when we were doing, we got this option, the screen.
Sir, configuration, enable GST details.
Yes, that's right. Okay, that is if I have to explain, if I have to show you, let's say if I press F11, I'm sorry, yeah, if I press F11, okay, enable goods and service tax. Yesterday we activated this. So once we activate it, we go to this additional features. So when we go to this additional features, okay, here we have set alter GST details. If I make this yes, the same box appears. Okay, so this particular screen, okay, this particular screen is basically used to enter your tax rates. Okay, and just now also we found out the HSN number, right? That HSN number will be entered over here, and the tax rate what we found out will also be entered over here. Okay, so basically in Tally there are many places you can enter your tax rate. So what exactly happens means to say that in Tally the tax rates are not manually entered; it is automatically entered. Okay, so in order to automatically calculate the tax rate for each and every stocks that you have or the stock item that you have, you can enter the tax rate in while activating the GST, that is over here. That is F11, activate GST, that is making this as yes, and coming here, set alter GST rate details, you make this as yes, and here you can enter. Okay, here you can enter the tax rate. For now I'm not doing it. And the next place that you can enter the tax rate is in your stock group. Okay, TV bridge. Okay, stock group, here you can enter yes, the same screen. Even here also you can enter the tax rate. Okay, so on the activation screen you can enter, and also in the stock group creation screen also you can enter the tax rate. Okay, but what I'm doing is, what we will do now is we will not enter the tax rate. No need to enter the tax rate in any of these two places. What we'll do is, while creating the stock item, that time we will create the tax rate. That time you will be able to understand clearly what it is. Okay, so there's no need for you to enter the tax rate over here, so I just put it as no. Name of the item is fridge, that is the stock group fridge under primary, and these two options I'll make it as no, and I'm saving. Okay, fine. There's no need for you to enter the tax rate in the stock group for now. No need to do it now. Okay, later we will see to that. Okay, so yeah, next TV, fridge. Okay, let's say for example books, it will be as primary. These two options I don't touch, directly I save it. Okay, next pens. Okay, next pencils. Okay, next Android. Okay, for mobile phones, iOS. Okay, next for desktops. Okay, laptops. So like this I can go on creating all the stock groups for it. And while I create the stock groups, I see that I select the under as primary, and the quantities, should quantities of item be added, and set all the GST details. These two options I make it as no. I do not enter the tax rate over here. I just enter the name for the group, and I am going to save it. That's what I am going to do. There's nothing else. I do it here. Okay. So I save this and I'll come it. Okay. So our stock category and our stock group is complete. So if I have to check from gateway of Tally, I go to this chart of accounts, stock category, and I'll have all the stock categories which I've just created. Next, I want to see the subheadings of these stock categories which I've done. I go to stock group, and there I have all my stock groups which I just created. So does anyone have any doubts in creation of stock category, stock group, units of measure, and go downs? All these four things what we did. Now, do you have any doubts in these four?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, fine, good. Now, the final thing is your stock item. Okay. Now, after you create all these things, the final step that you do is your stock item. Okay, because all these things what which we just did now, okay, everything will be included in this particular heading. Okay, so what we do now is, let's say gateway of Tally. I go to this option called as create, and I go to stock item. Gateway of Tally, create stock item, and I come. So as you can see the screen, okay, the stock item creation screen here. So the name you have, under category, units, GST, all these things will be present in one screen itself. So what all you did now, what all I created now, all those things will be present here and everything will be included over here. Okay, so again I'll show you. So from gateway of tally, I come to create, I go to stock item, and I'll come to this particular screen. Now, as I said, we'll be working on only 3 of the stock items which I have highlighted in pink in color. Okay, so only let's see how we create these 3 items. So same way how we do this 3 items, the same procedure, we'll be creating all the items as well. I'm just showing you the 3 of these items now. The first thing that I'm going to create is your LGT. Okay, now go to this tally stock item. Now the name. Here the name I will give it as LG TV. Okay, that is a stock item name that I'm giving, LG TV. Alias is not required. Okay. Under. Okay, now can anyone tell me what is the under? What is that under that I have to select? Under is nothing but the stock group.
Stock group.
TV.
TV, yes, that's right. So TV it comes. And the category, home appliance.
Home appliances.
That's right. Okay. So whatever the category we created, we get it here, we include it here, and the group what we added, we include it over here. Okay, so stock item name is LGTV, stock group name is TV, and the stock category is home appliances. Now, what about the units of measure? What can we put the units of measure? Numbers. Apart from numbers. Okay, apart from numbers, what else can we put? Any other units can we put? Any other units can be added for TV? Box. Yes, you can put as box or numbers. Anything is fine. Okay, TVs can be measured in terms of boxes or measured in terms of numbers as well. So what I do is, they will just put it as numbers itself. Okay, so I select NOS numbers. So now for this TV, for LG TV, is the tax applicable?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So what we do is here, as you can see on the right hand side, GST applicable, I select as applicable because the tax rate is applicable for it. Suppose if it is not applicable, I select not applicable. If it is not given for it, we say it as undefined. Okay, so since as we found out as well, there is tax rate for LGTV and for TVs. So I select as applicable, enter. Now again, set alter GST rate. This is the third place that you enter your tax rate, the GST tax rate. The first, what we saw was when we activate the GST. Second, as we did the stock group, there we can activate the GST. And third place is over here, the stock item. So this is the place there where we are going to activate and enter the HSN number and also the tax rate. So what I do is I type as yes and press the enter key. And see, you get the same screen. GST details for each and every stock item. The same screen you get it in activation of GST, stock group, and also in the stock items. So since, as I said before, I'm doing everything in the stock item itself, so that is why I'm including the tax rate also in my stock items itself over here. Okay, so I make the set alter GST details as yes and press enter. Then I get this particular screen. Now description. Description we can enter as, let's say, the name of the goods itself, or also we can put it as goods or services because LGTV is considered as goods. So I can type as goods. Suppose if it is a service, I can just type it as service. Anything is fine. So I'm just describing what exactly that particular stock is. Okay, so I'm just mentioning it as goods. Next, the HSN. So we have already found out the HSN number previously. That is why we are doing. So HSN number for TV is 8528. This number I enter it over there in my time. 8528. If I do it, it's just a number that I type. Calculation type, we select on value. Okay, calculation type will be as my value. Taxability, yes, again here we select as taxable. This particular product is taxable. If it is exempted, we can say exempted, or there's no rate, we select as no rate. Or if you're not sure of the tax rate, we just put it as unknown. Okay, so here what I do is I select as taxable because I know the tax rate. Now, integrated tax. Now, the actual tax rate, the full tax rate of this particular TV is 18%. Okay, that is what we found out. So this full 18% that we have here, we enter it in the integrated tax. The integrated tax is nothing but IGST, that which we discussed last class yesterday. Integrated tax is IGST, central tax is CGST, state tax is SGST. Okay, so integrated tax, the full tax amount, that is 18%. Whereas for central tax and state tax, it will be the breakup of this 18%, 9%, 9%. But I don't enter 9 and 9 over here. What I'll do is, in this integrated tax, I just put the full tax rate in this IGST integrated tax and just press the enter key. If I press the enter key, it will automatically split up the amount and say split up the tax rate. Suppose if the tax rate is 28%, I just type 28 and press enter. It will automatically break up for central and state tax. There's no need for you to calculate and put the half of tax amount, tax rates there. Okay, so you just put the total tax amount there, tax rate there. It will automatically split up the amounts, tax rates. So, right, there's no need of entering the cess. Just enter the integrated tax. Automatically, CGST, central tax, and the state tax will be split up. Any doubts in this?
No, sir.
Fine, let's proceed. Okay, so I save this, and again I come back to the screen. So here in this screen, next after I do the set order GST details as yes, I have the type of supply. So SGTV is nothing but goods. I select as goods. There's no need to enter rate of duty, tax, or anything. I directly save it. So these are the things that you do it in stock item. Okay. Now we are done with the first one. Okay. We'll go to the next stock item now. So SGTV is completed. Now the next stock item that I have to go to is my what is that, classmate notebook. Okay, classmate books. Okay, now same procedure. How we did for that LGTV for the previous one, the same way we do it here. Okay, so classmate books. That is a stock item name. Classmate books is a stock item name. No need of alias. Under will be the stock group, that is books. Classmate books comes under the heading books. Category is stationery. And here, okay, I can put it as numbers itself. Okay, so anything else can you select for books here? Any other, apart from numbers, anything?
Sets.
Sets, yeah, fantastic. Set of books, sets of books also you can select. Okay, but let it be as common. Normally numbers can be used for everything. Most of the thing, almost 85% of the things can be used as numbers. So to make our job bit simple, we just put it as numbers itself. Okay, or else you can also select as set. Okay, set of 12 packets, or set of 12 numbers, or set of 12 set of 20 numbers, something like that. Compound unit also you can create. Here we have created a set of 12 packets, the compound unit. You can also create a set of 20 numbers, or set of 5 numbers, something like that. For books, at one shot itself you can put the numbers itself, units itself. Okay, anything is fine. Sets you can select, or numbers you can select, or in sets also you can select as component as well. Anything is fine. Okay, so let's take it in a common thing as numbers itself. NOS, numbers, enter. Next, again, yes, GST is applicable, so I select as applicable here. Set alter GST details. Yes. So classmate books is nothing but goods. I just put it as goods. HSN number for it and also the GST.
41901.
Yes, that's right. Okay, that is 41901. That is the number which you have, and also the tax rate for it. 41901. Okay, yeah, we enter it over here. 41901. That is the number which you enter here. On value, we calculate the goods on value. It is taxable. It is 5%. So when I press 5%, only in integrated tax I put as 5%, and I just press the enter key. There I have the central tax and the state tax. 2.5, 2.5. I save it and I put it as goods itself, and there's no rate of duty. I save this again. Okay. Now going to the third one. Third one, I have put selected as computers, I guess. Okay, let's go to that screen. Yeah, Acer laptops. Now for Acer laptops, we have to do it. So I go there, tally. So yeah, the stock item name, Acer laptops. There is no need of entering alias as usual. Under will be as laptops, the group. Yes, and the category is computers. Next, units, same as usual. You can select as box. You can put as computer, Acer laptops as box. Orders, you can also put it in numbers as well. So as I said, we just use the normal one, common one, numbers. GST is yes, it is applicable. Set alter GST details. Yes. Okay. Here I put as goods, and the HSN number for this I have to find out. That is 8471. On value, it is taxable, and it is also
5%.
80%. Yes, that's right. Okay. So this is how one by one for each and every stock item has to be created. Okay, so basically it depends upon the business, what type of business you're running, whether you're running a mobile business or computer business or stationery. So based upon that, for each and every stock, so each and every stock item that you have, okay, or basically in stock item, say stock item itself. So basically, what are the stock items you have? Or depending upon that, we create these categories and groups, and also the tax rates for it. So this is how you do it, right? Any doubts? Do you have any doubts until here?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. So once my stock items are completed, okay, so here as I as I said before, we just created only three things. Okay, three of the stock items. Okay, you can go on creating multiple stock items, all the stock items, no issues with that. Okay, so once we have created all these stock items, okay, let's say you have completed creating all the stock items. I want to check them. Okay, I want to check all the stock items that I've created. So what I do, from gateway of tally, I go to chart of accounts, go to stock items, and there you'll have it. All the stock items. The ones which are highlighted, that is ones which are darker, are the stock groups, and ones below that are the stock items. So only three stock items I created: classmate books, Acer laptops, and LGT. So that's only the three items I have it over there. Okay. Now if we have to see it in detail, what you have done. On the right hand side, you have something called as multi-masters. That is basically Alt H. So I press Alt H, just say as multi-create. You just select the option as multi-alter, not create, multi-alter, and select all items. You get everything over there. See what is the name of the item, under which group it is falling under, and the units of measure, and the opening balance. If there's any opening balance or anything, that will be shown over there. Okay, so this is how it is, but this is not required. Just press escape, and come back to the normal screen. Okay, so this is how you create and check all your stock items and the categories and the groups, the things which you have created. Okay. Once these things are done, once you have completed creating all these stock items and things, only then will we start working on a GST transactions. Okay. Now, just a minute. Okay, fine. Now, let's take one example. Let's take one more stock. Okay, let's take Camlin notebook itself. Okay, this time. Okay, now let's take one stock here, one stock item, that is Camlin notebook. Okay, this Camlin notebook, okay, it has the same HSN number, the same tax date itself. Okay, but what is this? When I started the business, that is when I introduced capital. Yesterday I introduced the capital into the business. So when I started the business, I also have some stocks in my business. That is, I have some 80 numbers of Camlin notebooks, which cost rupees 20 each. Okay, that is, this is basically my opening balance. Okay, we can't, let's now take it as opening balance, opening stock, you can say this. Okay, I have some opening stocks of this Camlin notebook. That is 80 numbers of Camlin notebook, where each of this costs around 20 numbers, and it is present in let's take it as Jaynagar Godown. Okay, in Jaynagar Godown, I have Camlin notebooks, 80 numbers costing 20 each. Now, if this is a scenario, okay, this is my opening stock. How will I create it? Okay, so now let's come back to Tally. Now, in Tally, once you are in Tally screen and you want to see, okay, let's say you want to see how much of stock is present in your Godown or how much of stock is there in your company. Okay, to check all these things, what you have to do is you have to come to this heading called a stock summary. From Gateway of Tally, you go to this heading called a stock summary, which is used to display all the stocks or all the goods that are present in the company and which Godown is present. So when I press stock summary, see, I don't have anything here. There's nothing, it's just blank. But we created this LGTV, this classmate notebook, and also this Acer laptops and things. We created, but it is not showing. Okay, but why? Because we just only created those stocks, but we didn't create the opening balance for those particular stocks. Okay, but here I already it says the question, okay, which I just showed you. I already have here a Camlin notebook with 80 numbers. Okay, so how do I create this? How do I bring in the opening stock for my company? It's the same procedure. That is the same procedure how I created my stock item. So what I do is from Gateway of Tally, go to create stock item. Okay, so let's say I create here as Camlin notebook. Okay, now same procedure, it comes under books, stationery, numbers, applicable. Yes, following, everyone following? I'm doing the same procedure itself, reviewing the stock item name, stock group name, the category name, the units of measure I'm giving, or the GST applicable, I'm doing it, set all the yes. Okay, same procedure. Goods, I'm giving the HSN number, that is 41901. Okay, on value, taxable 5%. Okay, same procedure. There's no changes in this. Same procedure. I save it. Type of supply goods. Now, instead of saving it, what I'm going to do is I'm coming to this opening balance. Okay, as you can see here, it says as opening balance. Okay, so all the opening balance, whatever you have, or whatever the stocks opening balance of stocks what you have, that will be entered over here itself. Okay, so opening balance quantity. So the quantity that I'm bringing in is 80 numbers. So I just type 80 and I press enter. Now it asks for the go down. Okay, just a minute. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, in this, so now it asks for the go down. As you can see here, it is asking for the go down here. So the go down here in which it is going and getting stored, or the opening stock is present, is the go down as Jnagar go down that I have already mentioned here. Jnagar go down 80 numbers at 20 rupees. That Jnagar go down I have to enter it over here. Okay, so you can see on the right hand side I have all the go downs present. So I select Jnagar go down. Okay, so quantity is 80 numbers and the rate of each is 20 numbers. So 20 into 80, 1600 is the total cost of it. Understood, everyone? Okay, so previously I had stopped till here. Now since I'm introducing opening stock, I come to this quantity, that is I write the quantity as 80 numbers. Okay, the rate for each of these quantities 20. So once I select this, once I enter as 80 numbers as a quantity, I get the what is that? The go down screen, the go down selection screen. That is Jnagar location. Again, I put 80 numbers, put the rate 1600, and I save this. So this is how we do it. Fine. Now I come back to the gateway of tally, stock summary. You can see here, it says books. Okay, gateway of tally, stock summary. Now I want to find out what book it is. Is it classmate book or Camlin notebook? And what is the quantity of it? What is the rate of it? It is just showing the final value of it, 1600. But I want to see which go down it is present, quantity, rate. So after I come to the screen, I press Alt F1. See, it shows Camlin notebook, 80 numbers, 20 rupees. Now I want to find out which go down it is present. I press F5. See, Camlin notebook, change the location. Again, I repeat, from gateway of tally screen, you go to stock summary. Now on the stock summary screen, what you do is you have to press Alt F1. Alt F1 shows the transactions or things in detail. Alt F1, it shows the Camlin notebook, quantity and the rate. Now I want to find out which go down, so I press F5. There you have Jnagar. Okay, so this is my opening stock. That means I have Camlin notebook in Jnagar location with 80 numbers. Fine. Any doubts in this, guys? Any doubts? Do you have any doubts in this? Any doubts in this creation of stock items and the opening stock? Where do we come and check it? Any doubts in this?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So I guess you have no doubts. Fine. So the next session, what we'll do is we'll continue with this. The stock item is done. Okay, then we will now next class what we'll do is we'll start working on the transaction. Okay, how do we pass the CSC transaction and what are the ledgers that has to be created for each of these particular transactions. Fine. Okay, so if you have any doubts, okay, you can work on it, you can practice it, and you can ask me in the next class or the next session, right? So we'll meet you tomorrow at the same time, right? Fine. So have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.